Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Many, many different things going on today. How you guys all doing? It's a the sun finally graced us and give us its glory. It was kind of nice to see this morning, just because it's been gloomy for the last almost all week, and today it finally came out to shine right now. So kind of happy about that. How you guys doing today? What's going on? Some things are going on. I mean, there's always something going on out there. Just out. I got to go to town a little bit later today. Um, my aunt's at the house right now, so I cornered her and asked her if she can give me a ride out. I got to do some um, paperwork. I hate doing paperwork. Hey, Norwegian polar bear. Well, it's somewhere. I mean, you know, good evening from Norwegian polar bear. Yeah, the weekend is coming. Um, it's morning right now for me, but for some of our viewers, it's already afternoon and also evening over in Southeast Asia. It's already what 11:30. So yeah, it's evening time some places. I hope you guys are having a good day, good evening. Um, I was lucky enough to catch the last part of Jay's show, and you know I found his topic was a little bit interesting, and just because I got caught up into that area about I met this girl, my first girlfriend. She was working in Hong Kong, um, a domestic helper, and I talked to her, and things was happening, and that's when the first time I went to when I went overseas is when I went to Hong Kong. Hey, Lost Nomad, and hey, Tom, and I knew some stuff about it, but not the whole picture. And if I wanted to get the whole picture, I got to go there and meet her. And when I met her, it was when over in Hong Kong when they had that SARS virus that came out, and it came out during the time that I was in Hong Kong. So all the flights and everything was pretty cheap because they were trying desperately to get their customers there in Hong Kong. So everything went down. The prices of hotels went down. The airfare went down. Everything went down there, and so I took advantage of it. And this girl that I met, and things was going good, but the bad part was that she was married, but she's been separated for over 10 years. Um, Her husband is in Saipan. He's also a construction worker there, and but originally he's from the Philippines, and they've been gone. They've been separated and gone and everything. Haven't seen each other and all this. Hong Kong working, and she's been there for oh my god, like 13 years. So I met her, and I was my little head started taking over. Um, um, it it was making all kinds of decisions, and some of them was good decisions, and then some of them was kind of, it's just like I said, the little head was doing the thinking, and the big head was following. It should have been the other way around, but it wasn't. And I went there, and then it was at Christmas time when I went. So she had Christmas vacation coming, um, and I went to Hong Kong, and she was just about ready to go home to the Philippines for the her Christmas vacation that from her boss was going to give her. And so I met her in Hong Kong, and I spent like 3 days there in Hong Kong. And then her and I went to the Hong Kong airport, and we got a connection. We got a flight to going to the Philippines. So we landed in the Philippines, and man, most of them were on the plane was domestic workers. So the plane touched down, and we were still rolling to the gate. And man, all those people start getting up, even though the plane was still rolling, taxiing. Everybody stood up trying to get their bags up over at the overhead over at the overhead compartments, and I mean those people were very impatient to get off the plane. And we finally stopped, and the stewardess was trying to maintain balance on the plane, but boy, all those workers and all those people they just couldn't wait to get off the plane. And I was following everybody, so we got off the plane. My girlfriend and I were on the same plane, and we sat next to each other, luckily. And we got off and went through customs, and I got my passport stamped, and then we got out and jumped in a taxi and went to the hotel. And I knew she was married, and I knew that she wanted to get an annulment. And we went to Tagaytay for 2 weeks. This was old Tagaytay. There's a new part. The golf course was just being under construction. At that time, it was almost on its last leg of construction. But yeah, I bought her at the end of my trip. She was going to go back to Hong Kong at the end of her trip, and then I was leaving the Philippines at that time. And I got on a plane, went back to Anchorage, and I went back to working at the mine. 5 days after I landed, I went back to the mine, and she was calling me every day because she had some kind of phone card that she could call me from Hong Kong to Anchorage. I mean, from Hong Kong to the mine, and things was going pretty good. And then I bought her a round trip ticket from Hong Kong to Anchorage, so she can spend a year in Anchorage. And I went to my boss, to the general manager of the mine, and I wanted to, he made a letter of saying, like a letter of my employment and how long I've been at the mine and all this stuff, saying that I got a stable job and everything, all good and everything. And I sent it to her and her plane ticket at the same time, saying that she got a round trip ticket, and she went to the Hong Kong um, embassy, and she paid around 5,000 pesos to submit her paperwork um, in there in Hong Kong, and for she can come to the U.S. And she was denied. She was denied to leave, and if you're denied the first time, you're not going to be able. You're not eligible for the second time. So I was kind of bummed up about that, and she sent me back the ticket, and then I casted the ticket over at the travel agency, and I was refunded her ticket, which I was very happy about. And so she said that she could get an annulment in Hong Kong, even though she was married. In the Philippines, she could get a legal annulment because they've already been separated for over 10 years. And she needed X amount of money. So I sent her $1,000 here, $1,000 there, another $1,000. And then towards the end, Hong Kong sent paperwork to Saipan for her husband to sign, and he didn't want to sign for he can be rebellious, and he didn't want to sign. Call from +1913677. Everybody's busy. And he didn't want to sign, so the Hong Kong government waited for I think 3 months, 90 days, and the courts in Hong Kong stepped in and granted her the annulment. So they gave her a document saying that she is legally divorced from her husband, annulled from her husband. And at the end of everything, because they have a agency over in Saipan, for the lawyers. So from Hong Kong to the Saipan lawyer, he tracked him down and asking him to go sign the papers, and he laughed and walked away. So again, like I said, the Hong Kong government stepped in and finally granted her that right to be annulled. But at the end of everything, it was right around 4,000 US because I did it. And she went in since she was in Hong Kong, it was easy for her to get the annulment. If you got money, it's easy. If you don't get money, it's not easy. So maybe she was all happy about having that certificate. It was all notarized by the Hong Kong government and everything, and she sent me the copy. Not the original copy, but just a copy. But yeah, and then 90 days later, after that, 3 months later, I lost interest in her, and I lost interest in her, and I met this other girl from Iloilo, and you know the rest of the story from that. But yeah, I'm not very, as you can see, I'm when it comes to money and girls and stuff, I'm not the smartest person. Um, um, because they see me, women see me, and they see a price tag, and or they see not a price tag, but they see money bags. I am a honeycomb, and they say, "Oh, there's a sucker for you," and they show me boobs, or they show me they get a private room at the internet cafe. Some of them have a private room and show me boobs and puss and everything, and I just lose it when I see that stuff, and I'm not even looking at the comments. I'm sorry. Um, hey Jay. Um, yeah, you guys. I mean, when it comes to girls, when it comes to relationships, you got to be real with yourself. Just like on Jay's show, that you can't just follow um, your animal instincts on getting some, and because this ain't the old days, this ain't the dark ages. This is today, and today women are more sophisticated on the internet, and they are more smarter than we are sometimes. Not all the time, but maybe. Well, for me, yeah, all the time. But when it comes to making a smart decisions, don't think with your pecker. Um, I mean, because it's just gonna take you. It's gonna take you for a ride. Maybe a short term ride, maybe long term ride. Depends on how gullible you are. I am very gullible, and because I follow my heart, I don't follow common sense. And when you follow your heart, you are in a on a trip of a collision. When you follow your pecker. But if you follow your heart, you got a 50-50 chance of surviving. But as a rule, um, but if you follow common sense, like a lot of you good people, I hope, are doing right now, that sometimes it takes more than one try to make a successful relationship. Um, but when you just follow the little guy, the little guy is very powerful, and he can make you do ridiculous things, and we are following him, and that which is not a the little guy is not a good player. Okay, he only wants one thing, and when you get one thing, then you are not. Hey, John Doe, why don't you come on board? I have Lost Nomad with me. I'm gonna let him talk also. But yeah, you guys got to be a little bit smarter than Big Kevin, because Big Kevin is just wants to go for the ride, and when you're on the ride, sometimes the ride is going to put you against the wall, slam you into the wall, and sometimes you can't recoup after you get hit. So that's more or less what I want to say. It's easy when you see a nice senorita and she's all looking all duked up and all pretty and smelling nice, and she gives you that look. And when she gives you that look, your heart maybe missing a beat. The little guy is saying me first. I mean, and you got to be real with yourself, and sometimes when you're real with yourself, you got to make hard decisions. When you make a hard decision, it's not gonna be maybe it's gonna hurt the little guy's feeling, when you make a real decision. But if you're only there for one thing, when I went to the Philippines, I I went there because of my heart and because of the little guy when I was in Hong Kong. And I was going, boy, this is a nice place. And I'm looking around. First, I looked around in Hong Kong, and then when I went to the Philippines, I'm going, oh my God, is this Hong Kong's dump? Because when I was in Hong Kong, that place is just it's a very it's only around 7 million people on a crunched in on a little island. But boy, there's a lot of things to do in that little island. I mean, and the people. It was a British colony for a long time, so they had a lot of people can speak English, except the cab drivers. The cab drivers are like all cab drivers all over the world. They are pricks, and they know it, but they know that we are stupid Americans or foreigners or Westerners going to their country, and they're going to try to roll us over. And all cab drivers they're all the same. They're all very mean people. And yes, one or two people are nice, but no, all cab drivers from New York, from Miami to Texas, all the way from Anchorage, all the way from Iloilo in the Philippines, they're all related and they're all no good. Maybe one or two of them again is nice, but yeah, you don't trust a cab driver. You got to outthink the cab driver. So when you get in, make sure that he turns on his meter and make sure maybe you write down where you want to go. If he says yes, he understands and turns on the meter before you leave, then good. If you know where you're going, that's also good. Just good God. I'm sorry. But yeah, you guys, we got to be a little bit more smarter when we jumped on our transportation when we're going to meet that nice young lady. We just got to be a little bit more careful and you know when you're gonna go meet this girl, maybe just whack off before you go meet her, and then because then you're not so uptight and to get some. If you just bust the nut before you leave, then
listen,
then
Kevin,
huh?
most of the guys going to the Philippines haven't been with a woman in 10 plus years.
Well, with the women or a sexual relationship or both?
Probably both. Other than using their hand, so they're a little bit. Their hand is worn out.
Well, yeah, but your hand doesn't put you down. But yeah, you're right about that. I left my marriage because of this girl in Hong Kong. It was already a failed marriage, and I was getting some, but nothing on a regular basis because I wasn't at the house. I was at the mine for 2 weeks out of the time. So I would go home for 1 week and then go back to the mine for 2 weeks. So yeah, I understand about not getting some, but I got.
Who was in Hong Kong? A Chinese or a Filipino?
No, she was a Filipino girl, but she was a worker, a domestic worker. Yeah.
And you were tapping that.
Well, I did when I was in Hong Kong, and then we went to Tagaytay. So yeah, I was doing like 3 times a day, 3 times a night. Depends on how worn out I was. But again, this was a long time. We're talking about long back in 1999. Yeah, this was a while ago before I went to the Philippines. But I did pay for that annulment, and I was just listening to my buddy Jay, and when you say annulment is a tricky dog, and if you can get annulment from another country, then that's good. But in the Philippines, it's going to cost you maybe 5,000, maybe a little bit more, because there's more. You got to please some more people. But when we were in Hong Kong, the Hong Kong lawyers did it, and they weren't so greedy. So it only cost me around 4,000 US. Lost Nomad, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Yeah, I have when I was in the Philippines, I met a girl come to fight where she told me she wasn't married, and I come to find out she was married. Mm-hmm. And of course, I ended it shortly after that because I'm not going through a 3, 4, 5 year process and $10,000 so she can be annulled.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, if you, my son's mom, she was married when I was with her, but her husband was in prison, for domestic violence on her, so he was gone in prison for a long period of time. So after my son passed away, he came out of jail, and I was still with her, and we parted ways afterwards. But I met her husband, and he was a real jerk, and come into the yard, and she wasn't gonna let him, and I sure in hell wasn't gonna let him come in.
Yeah, that's why in the Philippines you don't need to get involved with a married woman, no matter how long she's been separated for.
Yeah, that's But and then when I left, and then I left her, and he went back to jail because he beat up another woman. And so he went back to jail, and he's still there in jail right now. But my son's mom met a foreigner, and from what is it? Louisiana, and he paid for her annulment. And it did cost over $5,000. And now she's in the U.S. And he finally won the prize, and she was a good woman. So I'm not going to bash her, but yeah, annulments do cost a lot of money, and it takes quite a while to get.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of guys don't understand. If they meet these women that are separated, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll just pay for your annulment," but it's like a 3-year process, and it's not even a guarantee that they can actually get it. If like the husband just doesn't sign papers or whatever, it won't happen.
Yep. So this kind of stuff can be a roller coaster ride, and it could be an emotional drain on everybody, because the woman, she wants to get out, and you want her to be free from the husband. So yeah, that stuff, these are commitments, and some of them the price is a little bit too much to bear.
There's plenty of women that have never been married, so don't even bother with the married ones unless you're just going to use it for as a dumpster.
Well, Well,
I would recommend not even doing that. You never know when, the husband's going to come around, and they've got those marital laws there. You can get in trouble. So
yeah,
I would just recommend staying away from a married woman in the Philippines.
And did you know that you could go to jail if you're with a married woman? I never knew that before. I mean, like in the Philippines, not the guy can go to. I mean, the guy, the husband. It's okay for him to fool around and have mistresses and all this stuff, second wife, third wife. But if a woman tries to do this kind of stuff, she can go to jail, and maybe her partner can also go.
The partner can go to jail also, and also he could be extorted.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, that kind of stuff is like I said on my other show I said you got to know the rules before you go there, because I mean we get driven for sex and affection, or both, or companionship, but at the beginning we are following the little guy, but hopefully towards the end you follow your heart and your mind. But yeah, this I mean when it comes to romance and thinking that she's the one, maybe we got to step back and be real. I was never that way, but I had blinders on, and sometimes you got to take off the blinders, and you got to take off the rose colored lenses, and you got to see the real picture.
Well, you can't do that when the little head is doing all your thinking, which 99% of the guys, that's what's happening.
Yeah. I know this stuff because I was there and I did it, and I lost thousands, maybe 100,000 if you put all the money all together. And now I have 2 daughters over there, and they want to come, and they want me, and I am trying, and at least I'm sending in them money for school, food, small in entertainment money, but it's not an easy game, because you are ruined when you have a little head, and a little head is just bouncing around, even though you're old or young, and he can still take control of you. But I have 2 daughters because of my ill thinking, because I just want, and when you want too much, you're gonna hurt somebody. And like I said, I'm hurting my daughters because I was selfish, and you can't be selfish when you have a human person that you created. But yeah. Hey Jay, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm hanging in there.
Well, give us your expertise, and don't say you're like me, because give me some hope.
No, I'm like John Doe.
Well, yeah, but see, John Doe is a cold-hearted, mean individual. So don't. I mean, John Doe is old and cranky, and he when he gets something, then he's happy. But don't be like John Doe, because John Doe, he speaks from the hip.
I speak from reality, not from the little head. That's.
Oh well, no. I meant from the gunfighter hip. You shoot before you ask questions. I shot too, but I wasn't.
It's a different kind of shooting.
Exactly, brother. Oh shit! But no, you guys. Again, there are a lot of good people that you guys that are in the Philippines, and you have a successful relationship, or you're trying to make a successful relationship. Um, but you guys got to be a little bit careful and do a little bit of research. Make sure she's not married. Make sure they don't got no kids hidden. My remember my business partner from Iloilo, she had a son, and I didn't find out until I already set up my internet, and the old lady, her mother came and she dropped off her son, and her son was around 4 years old, and her son looked like a Indian, not the kind of Indian with a feather in the head. I'm talking about the Indian with a turban.
Mumbai Indian.
Yeah, and he looked exactly like a lot of those motorcycle jockeys. And which is okay. I got a lot of good friends that are Indians. But
where was this? Where was this? Where was the girl? And where was it?
In Iloilo.
Oh, Iloilo. So she got around quite a bit, I guess.
Oh well, when I met her, she was already in Makati, and she said she was a she said she was a Avon and a Mary Kay representative.
Yeah, right.
and her house was, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that area of Makati at the red light area.
P. Burgos.
And she if you remember, there's a Makati open air market, and down the street from the open air market is where a lot of those girls are being housed, and a lot of them have like apartment buildings, and the club that she works at owned apartment buildings, and they're all female places.
What club did she work at? I thought she sold Avon.
Exactly, but she was living in the area where all those girls were housed, and I went there, and the manager or the owner of the apartment complex, oh, no problem, Joe, you can stay, all this stuff. So I spent a week, maybe almost 2 weeks at that housing area. So I got to talk to some of the girls that was walking back and forth, and some of those girls called me and say, "Hey, she's not all what you think she is." And I was thinking, oh, maybe they're just jealous, and they're trying to woo me away from her. So I went on the defensive, and I stuck up for her, and I went back to Anchorage. Then on my second time, I went and I cashed out half my 401k and other investments that I was lucky enough to have, and I went back to.
Why did you do that?
Oh man, because now those boobs and that little hairy thing I'm being.
Oh my goodness gracious! She had you hook, line, and sinker.
Well, no, I was doing it because I know what I'm talking about, and I'm a player. Okay, so
of course you were.
And I went there and back, and her apartment, she got one of those trailer containers, and she put all of her belongings on there, and we went to Iloilo, and she put the container on a ship, and they went back to the because I already sent her money for apartment, and the apartment upstairs is our boarding house, and I got a room in the back, and downstairs is my internet cafe, and then also it turned out to be my billiard business also. But we went. She met me at the airport in Manila, and then we got a connection flight to Iloilo, and she unlocked the wooden door at our apartment and opened up the door, and we got like a puke green paint, and it smelled in there. And I'm going, oh my God. I felt kind of sad because I'm looking around. There's nothing there. There's like a smoke, lime green paint. And I just felt real sad and a little bit but like my big brain is being thawed out a little bit. And because I was all happy when I was over in Manila, but when I was in Manila, something told me, like when you have an intuition, and something told me, Kevin, don't let her in the hotel room, because she went to get something, and during that time, something told me, don't let her in the house, just walk away and just walk away. When you have that feeling, hey, take that feeling. Don't just brush it off, shrug it off. That is your angel, and somebody's looking out for you. So take advantage of that moment and don't walk it off. If I would have took that moment and not let her in, I could have just went back to Anchorage and stayed at my successful business. I mean, not my business, but at the mine, because 90 days after I left, the mine went union, and everybody's making smart money. And my parents still would have passed away, but at least I would have been there to be with them when they passed away. So I made a lot of wrong decisions because of
the little head.
Because of the little head, because I was selfish, and I thought I could do a successful stay, and I got hurt, and now I got my daughters that are hurt, and things are just not what I thought they were going to be. Hey Jerry, how you doing?
Oh, doing pretty
Kevin,
good.
how many times did you visit the Philippines before you actually moved there?
I'm a traveler, buddy. I've been to I've been there maybe over 5-6 times for like maybe a couple of weeks. Hong Kong twice. Taipei once. I'm not a rational person. I'm just because see, I love affection, and I love sex, and it's just not a very good combination when you are weak and you want to when you have so many beautiful women. I'm just glad I never went to Mexico or Arizona or Texas, because I love those brown ladies.
You like the brown spinners.
And those little bodies, and and just like, remember the other day, we were talking about, I was listening to Jay. I always listen to you, brother. You're not helping me none, but I'm listening to you. And I was listening to Jay, and you guys were talking about I think my buddy Nicholas was saying he likes eyes. Pretty looking Filipino Asian style eyes. And my both my kids' moms, the hard body athletic style trophies. And if you can get a trophy woman or trophy wife,
you know what, Big Cat? We're all going to make mistakes in life. I mean, that's normal. The question is, and again, I just kind of came in on halfway through your conversation here, but we all make mistakes, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as we learn from them. But I think from your story,
Kevin never learns, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have to learn from them. Yeah, obviously, I agree. You know, John, we have to learn from them. And there's a lot of guys that will never learn and will keep making the same mistake over and over. I don't know if that's your situation, but again, I'm not here to judge anybody. But you know what? I think you also didn't have a full plan when you went to the Philippines. Again, this is what I'm getting from hearing your story over the past year.
As everybody else to get laid.
Well, he had a short-term plan, but I think he didn't have a long-term plan, John.
That's short, medium, and long. Getting laid.
Yeah, 100% right. Because if you look at my track record, I don't have a straight track record. Mine, I bob and I weave, and I am easily distracted.
Yeah, I mean, again, keep in mind, mistakes that we make in the past are going to have consequences down the road eventually. So these are the consequences that you're dealing with now.
But you're not prepared for that down the road. You're not prepared. You're only prepared for the moment.
Well, no. Every time you make an action, you do an action. You got to say to yourself, okay, well, what is this going to do down the road? It's going to have an effect. There's going to be a ripple effect down the road. Now, certain actions generally won't have much of a ripple effect, but other actions will. Like, for example, guys that go to the Philippines, say in their 30s or early 40s, and say hang out for 10 or 15 years and don't make it and come back. The ripple effect is you're kind of screwed on your retirement, on your Social Security and whatever other thing, that's part of it. So these are things you have to think of. That's you guys say, hey, wait, now if I'm going to make it in the Philippines for that amount of time, what happens if I don't and I have to come back? So then there's going to be ripple effects when you come back. I mean, that's kind of common sense. You have to look at these things, So,
but I didn't think about that. And now when I'm back here in the U.S., I was lucky when I came back 4 years ago from Guam. I came back, and then I went to my to doctors, and then I went to the Social Security people, and right. they did a trace on my work right. history, and that died when 2012 my benefits and my privileges from Social Security got erased at 2012.
Oh, okay. I really don't know how Social Security works. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
I lose all my points.
Why? Because you were out of the country for so long? Is that how it works?
I was out of the country and I did not work for. I did not work.
Yeah.
Yeah, for that period of time, and they revoked my privilege.
Hey, let me get that straight. So even though you worked up to the age of when did you go to the Philippines? How old were you?
Well, I went. I'm 55 right now. I went.
Yeah, but how old were you when you went? 40?
I went 50. I went. No, I went there. 2000, beginning of.
How old were you, Kevin, when you went there? That's what I'm asking you.
I don't know. I'm 55 right now.
Simple math. Okay, let's just say you were 40. The question is, all them years you worked up to the age of 40, did you lose all that because you were gone for 10 years?
You don't lose that. You don't lose that.
You don't lose that, right? I thought once you get like 10 years in.
I don't lose it. But all those years that I skipped.
Right. You're going to get less. You're going to get less, plain and simple. That's what's going to get.
But when I am age of 62, I can get a early
Right, you can get early, you just won't get as much because what they do is all the years you missed is zero. So when they calculate, they're going to calculate the last, I don't know, was it 35 years, John, or something like that? Your best 35, and a bunch of these years are going to be zero in the calculation. So you're just going to get less. And that's the point I'm trying to make is if you're going to go to the Philippines in your younger years, you better think about this and you better make sure. I mean, you don't know if you're going to make it or not in the Philippines, but these could be the consequences.
These guys are not big thinkers. Look at they're mostly Barry Jordan types.
Right. Well, yeah, that's again. So.
Well, okay, yeah, but yeah, I screwed myself because I wasn't prepared and I wasn't schooled on the consequence of what's happening. So
you were too busy getting laid. You were too busy getting laid.
Hey, guys, Sentai. Hey, Ren, are you there? Hey, you're in that same age bracket as Kev is, aren't you? When you first went to the Philippines?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. Well, I'm 44 right now.
Did you ever think about that when you came out, Ren? Is say if you're out here 10, 15 years, you don't make it, you go back. Have you thought about that? Just out of curiosity.
I did. Yeah, okay. I do. If something was to go wrong, catastrophically wrong, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and again, what's going to happen is when you go back to the States, you're going to make less in Social Security, obviously, when you get to Social Security. But also, you may have a harder time getting work because keep in mind, you say if you're 40 when you got there, you're 50, say when you go back or whatever. Again, this country is not very good on the elderly. Huh?
Yeah, and I thought about that because it's like at the same time, I'm 44. I got an impressive resume. I really do. But it's like, 44. It's going to be harder for you and tougher to get a job,
Yeah, when you go back. Now, it depends on the field also. I mean, if you're highly specialized, they may not be. It just depends on the field that you're working in. But again,
yeah,
that's something to think about.
I have an impeccable work record. I at the beginning I was a bouncer, and then I became a commercial fisherman, and then I became a roughneck at Prudhoe Bay oil fields, and then I went and did working in the mine for X amount of years, and then I left, and now I come back, and I'm old, and I'm trying to get benefits from my previous points from my works, and I can't touch that stuff now. I can't even touch. I invested in two of my companies, the oil company and the mining company. I'm already invested because of the time that I put in there, but I can't touch anything until I am a rightful age.
What age is that? Is that 62 or 60? What age is that for them guys?
Spokane, my people at the mine, they say I got to be 62 before I could get any money from there.
From that pension, and one thing keep in mind, if it's still going to be there, because a lot of these companies will scam, they'll do Chapter 11, Chapter 13, whatever in the hell they're going to do, and they'll siphon that pension money out and give you pennies on the dollar. So it may not even be there when you get to it.
That's
who
another
knows?
You got.
That's another hurdle you may have to jump. I don't know.
But the good part was that my oil company, I get BP Alaska exploration, and then my mining company is a big mine.
Are they 401ks or what are they, Kev? Are they 401ks? What are they?
No, I cast my 401ks out, but
with them, okay.
But
it's just a pension from them, basically.
Investment of it's like a 401k, but I'm invested in the company, so I get money from the company until I pass away.
It's a pension. Yeah, so you can't transfer it or any of that kind of stuff. It's basically you have to wait till you get to retirement, right? Yeah.
So that's why today I make these videos, not really for me, maybe a little bit like therapy, but for you guys to watch and look and listen, and you can follow what I did, because I'm not an expert on what to do right. I'm an expert what you're gonna do, what's gonna happen.
So basically, they listen to you and then just basically do the opposite.
Well, well, yeah. Don't listening to me But look at the mistakes that I did and who I hurt and everything like that. It's a domino effect.
It's time to crack open the freaking the Jack Daniels.
The Red Horse.
Look, the
Jack
bottom line
Daniels
is,
now.
the bottom line is when you go to the Philippines, don't get cunt struck.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Good advice, John. But it's hard to do, right, John?
Well, I don't know.
Well, hang on. Let's talk to Jay. What do you think, Jay? Is it hard to do?
No, it's not hard.
I mean, it's hard, right? Because you're living
focus, it ain't hard.
You're living in pussy heaven, so it is difficult.
That way about it. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Well, one way to have your balls cut off is just go there and get married, and she'll have you on lockdown. So that's one way.
Great, John. Oh, John, are you messing with me again? John,
I'm just talking in general. I'm just talking in general. Because then you're
on. This is not a Mike Luna, John. This is not a Mike Luna, John Doe.
No, that wasn't specific to any one person. You know my philosophy for marriage.
I know he's going after me is what he's doing. John Doe is going after me. This guy knows he's got the skinny on me all the time.
Ren is already on lockdown and he's not even married.
So that's voluntarily locked down.
Hey Jay, did you do that Yuri and Bruce show today? I saw something, but I wasn't around. I had to go out the door.
Yes, I did that. I did it earlier.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was a great. It was a great show. Yeah, it was a good, great show, Dave. I want to tell you that, man.
Oh, appreciate that.
Well, were you guys on the show? Were you guys on the show, or just Yuri and Bruce? Were there other people on the panel?
Just Yuri and Bruce.
Oh, cool, nice.
Yeah, he didn't invite me, so I was like, okay, whatever. Come on, Jay. Racist because I'm Mexican, so we didn't want to hear a Mexican point of view.
No Mexicans allowed.
Marcel, how you doing, brother? We got a lot of good people here today.
No Richard today, huh? I don't see Richard today.
Well, Richard's daughter is at the dentist, so Richard is with her. Oh. I'm not with Richard all the time. I just call him all the time.
But you know who the biggest pussy is amongst the expat vlogging genre, don't you?
Well, I'm not going to say nobody's name because
no names allowed.
Because one, in probably Angela City, and I like all those guys that are there, and Seth is already working hard. So
no, I wasn't going to say Sissy Boy, but I wasn't not him, but somebody else. I just watched one of his vlogs, and I'm not going to mention the guy's name, but he's living with his girlfriend that he bought a house for, that has 5 kids. He just made a vlog, and he said he wants to join a gym, but he needs her permission.
Wow.
He needs her permission to join the gym.
Wait a minute. Who's it? 5 kids?
Yes, she has 5 kids. He makes pizza for a living because he has no money.
Wait, she doesn't have 5 kids.
Yes, she does.
Bob doesn't have 5 kids.
Who?
No, she doesn't have 5 kids.
Who'd you say?
Well, did you say Bob?
No. I'm saying this guy makes pizza to support himself.
Oh, Bill.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had 5 kids. I didn't know she had 5 kids.
Yeah, and he had it. In his vlog, he said he has to ask her permission to join the gym.
Oh,
I mean, really? He's the biggest puss on the planet.
You're straight to the point, John.
I had to ask permission just to go out with a bar girl. I mean, damn, man. I don't get that. I don't know why I had to ask for permission. I got myself in trouble.
The guy I'm talking to can't even look at another girl.
Wait, hey, you don't talk behind my back. I think I've asked you this, John. You don't talk behind my back when I'm not on the panel.
No, not at all. I'm not even talking about you now.
Hey, John Doe, I know you've been around for a while. What was up with Pop 65 back in the days? I kind of caught up with him later on. A guy named
Yeah,
Pop 60.
I wasn't really following him. I only watched a few
one of the
his
original
videos.
dudes that came on the scene. One of the original guys.
Yeah, he lived in a nipa hut on Negros. He lived in like a
married
nipa
to a
hut.
chick. He was around actually before Henry, before Ned and them guys, you know. But what happened to that cat, from what I see, is he didn't pay his visa fees for like many years, and then he left. Somehow he got out. I don't know how the guy got out when he was behind in visa fees. It's really weird. And then he was coming back. He left for the States, and then he was coming back, and they wouldn't let him back in. Oh. And then he had to get back on the plane and go back to the States because of his overdue visa fees. But I don't know how you get out, because if you owe a bunch of visa fees, you can't get that.
I was going to say, I didn't get that part of it either, Gary.
Yeah, that's what's really weird. I never got that part of
how you got out. They take your passport. They'll take it.
Well, no, I don't think they take your
passport.
Maybe
he never left the airport. He never left the airport. They sent him right back.
No, he got back to the States. He got back to the States, John.
Right.
He got back. He left.
That's what I'm saying.
He got back to the States. But how would you have gotten his exit?
How did you get out?
You got to get that exit permit to get out. I don't know how this cat got out, and he was behind in dues like I don't know, maybe about 3.
The same way Kevin.
Just like I did.
Maybe through the embassy, you mean, or something like that.
Yeah, the U.S. government.
Maybe yeah. I couldn't figure out how he got out, and then when he tried to come back like a year later, they wouldn't let him in. They go, hey man, you owe this amount of money. She goes, I'm not paying. Then they put him back on a flight, and he came back to the States.
Yeah, he was trying to play their bluff, but. You got to have that money on you, and you can possibly pay the immigration right there. You could possibly.
You got to pay. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He was working his way to. He was like trying to bluff and see what was going to happen.
Well, that's another guy, and again, that's another guy that I think I don't know how long he was in the Philippines, maybe 5, 6, 7 years, but that's another guy that went back. Now I think he's old enough to get. Well, I don't know. He's working, but he's doing these goofy jobs. He's not making much money. Kind of like handyman, like property manager type thing, where he gets a free apartment and probably gets a little stipend or whatever. But his wife actually joined him in the States now. She's over there, and I think she might be going through like I don't really watch the guy that much, but she might be going through some kind of trying to get her citizenship or something. I'm not sure what they're trying to do over there or something. But a bunch of people helped him out. There's some people that helped him out, like when he first got back with free apartments and this and that. He's got somewhat of a following there, looks like, But again,
don't take advantage. Who's helping?
I see before he left. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I watched the channel, but I think he made some amount of money before he left the Philippines.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, he's starting to pop up. He's starting to put some videos out lately. He's got a few videos. He's starting to do some videos again. But he's still in the States from what I see. That's what it looks like. He's still in the States or something, So.
I know before he left, he bought a house, and they was doing work on the house, and he just up and down.
Yeah, was it a Nipa hut, or was it like a type Nipa hut?
It was like a Nipa hut, but then he was upgrading it.
Or something, yeah. I think his wife had some land there, or parents, or whatever. I'm not, again, when I first started watching everybody, I didn't really get into too much into Pop 64Z or whatever his name is. I really didn't like his channel much. I saw him a couple of times, and then I started watching other people, and then all of a sudden I heard he got kicked out or whatever, So then I don't really watch him. It's not my kind of channel to watch, And I think there was a thing between. Well, I think there was a little spat between him and Ned. Him and Henry. I think there was a little spat there or something. Like that.
The last video that I saw, that he was not planning to return to the Philippines. He was not going to pay. He was not going to do anything. He said that. This was my last broadcast. I'm not going back. I'm leaving my wife and kids, behind. That's basically what he said. That's what I got from a video of his.
Yeah, but he's been coming up with a couple of videos the last couple of weeks, or the last 2-3 weeks. It sounds like he's trying to. Again, it kind of sounds like they might be trying to go back to the Philippines eventually. I'm sure his wife probably hates the States. She's got to. She just looks like that type that prefers to be in the Philippines kind of thing. But again, I don't know. That's his problem.
He'd rather be there spending his money.
In the States, they don't, they don't really spend a lot of money. It looks like
in
they
the
don't
Philippines. In the
Oh, in
Philippines.
the Philippines.
Yeah, she could be a princess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they-
I'm talking about Pop 65 or whatever his name was. That's who I'm talking about. I don't know who we're talking about right
Yeah,
now,
same
but that
guy.
was the last
Pop
video I saw.
65Z or Pop 64Z,
Okay.
whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dude. It's the guy that doesn't like comments. You can't do any comments on the show or on his channel, or maybe now you can. I don't know. For a while, everybody was kind of going.
Yeah, he did the comments. He pissed a lot of people off. I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people
pissed off at him. Are they?
Yeah, I didn't like the look of his rental. She looked like a scammer to me.
Oh, the woman. Yeah, I don't. Again, I didn't watch him
her.
that much.
I don't like her.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna see all kinds of stories, man. I mean, from people going there, coming back. If you're gonna go to the Philippines and spend a lot of time there or a long period of time, you better have some kind of pension or something coming in, because things don't work out and you got to come back. You still got something coming in, where it's gonna be tough to get a job unless you're self-employed or something like that. But I don't know. I wouldn't make the move out to the Philippines unless I had a pension or something coming in. That's just me. I gotta tip my hat to you, Ren. I mean, for trying it, that's for sure. I got to give you that. But
man, it's tough, man. It's tough at times. Sometimes things start to run down. You're cutting into your savings, and I'm like, oh god. And then Trixie wasn't working for like 4 months, and it's like, oh man, okay. And then her brother moved in, and I'm like, all right, okay. So I had to try something else, and so you start going into businesses and whatnot. And of course, some businesses go south. You really can't trust a whole lot of Filipinos.
Why did her brother move in?
Because he had a problem with the mom.
How old is he?
He's 25.
Shouldn't he be working?
Yeah, probably can't find a job. Is he educated? Did he go to school
He's
or anything?
Educated. He went to university. He's good with finances. He went for accounting.
So what?
Trixie is good with your finances, Ren.
Stop it, John Doe. See, this guy's got the skinny on me, man. And it's funny because Heminger always says, I know everything about Ren. I'm going to expose him. Nah, John Doe. John Doe's the one.
Yeah. So, I mean, how long's your brother going to be living with you guys? Is he still living with you guys?
Yeah, he's right behind me. Mm-hmm.
It's time for him to go.
Smile.
If he doesn't have a vagina, he's got to go.
Hey, I'm not Bama, man. I don't freaking women.
Yeah, Bama's living with 2 girls, ain't he?
Yeah, he's living with 2 girls. Matter of fact, I saw his girl today. I went and visited her at her job. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you went to visit Bama's girl.
Yeah, she wanted to see her because they're actually friends. So yeah.
Oh, they're friends. Oh, cool.
Yeah, went out to meet her.
You don't hear about Bama anymore. How's he doing?
She said he's doing fine. Everything's good. So I don't know. I didn't get into the like heavy conversation with her or anything. I mean, because of course I was buying her clothes. We're at her boutique, so I was buying her clothes. And
pretty soon Trixie's gonna pimp you out on Mango Square, man, to try to make some money.
Oh, I ain't talking to you no more. I'm not talking to you. I ain't talking to you no more, Gary.
Trixie's gonna milk him till there's no more milk left.
You and Jerry.
I'm just messing with you.
John and Jerry, man. I think they're becoming an alliance.
No, John Doe goes after me too, Ren. Don't worry. He goes after me also, So you're not the only one. He's an equal opportunity going after everybody as much as he can, So, right, John?
I don't say anything bad about you. Not other than you got married.
That's because he doesn't have the skinny on you yet, man. He's got the skinny on me, so
skinny on you.
Yeah,
John's going by Kevin.
Yeah.
You gotta
just don't get married and then move to the Philippines with a girl. Big mistake.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Just work her in the U.S.
John, you've never been married at all? You've never been married?
Correct. Never been married.
sure yet.
He won't answer that. I asked him.
He won't
Oh,
answer that
he
question.
won't say his age. Oh.
Yeah, he's probably in his 60s.
Pardon,
just like,
ma'am.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys, when you guys go to another country, do a little bit of homework, find out what is good for you.
There's no need to get married.
Well, no, but just know what you're going to walk yourself into, what's going to happen.
As long as you
Sometimes
don't marry it, you're fine. Things go south, you give her a kick in the ass and move on.
Or she gives you a kick in the ass and say, move on.
What's that?
Or she can give you a kick in the ass.
Kicking you in the ass because she needs you to support her.
Well,
no.
one of the things that I saw on Jay's show today, which was a great, topic. This is the American Black Expat. There was a question that came up about just watch out make sure that your Filipina is not already married. Because annulments are very expensive.
Who cares? You're not going to marry her anyway. Who cares? You're not going to marry her.
You just get her to get a Senomar, man. That's all you got to do. She just got to get a Senomar and show it to you.
I wouldn't even bother.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if you're shacking up with her and her husband catches you, you can be in trouble out there, apparently.
Oh, hell yeah, because it's illegal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can go to jail for that shit. Hey, Jay, what's your next show about, man?
I'm supposed to be with Mike out tomorrow sometime.
Oh, what you guys gonna talk about, or you don't know yet?
Pretty much everything. LA Cafe, Mag Cow.
Are you guys doing it tomorrow, or are you guys doing it next Tuesday?
Tomorrow. We're supposed to get together
you're doing
tomorrow.
it tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh shit. Cool. Nice.
Yeah. See, no Mexicans on the show. Yeah.
So I didn't say that, Ren. I didn't say that.
I know. I'm playing with you, Jay, man. I love you, man. You know I love your channel. I get there whenever you pop up a show, man.
Always be careful. Have a good time. Just know what you're doing before you go there.
Are you going to try to go back to the Philippines, Big Kev, eventually, or what do you think?
I would already be there if I had the opportunity. Yeah, I just want to pay my fine and just
get laid.
Get my kids. Well, that's like a plus. But right now, my kids are gonna. I'm gonna focus more on them than getting laid. Because right now, my kids are getting pretty older. They're getting more. They're more and more beautiful. So I want to try to get them maybe interested in the entertainment part of the Philippines, acting, singing, movies, TV shows. Because, like I said, you got to remember what, like my kids, they're very awesome looking, and I want to try to take advantage of their looks.
So you have to move them to Manila then.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Hey, Will, how you doing, man? Haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen Will Wonks in a while. Yeah. Now he popped up again.
Yeah, that would be good if I can get up enough money for them to come to me. I think that we got my aunt has a big house here, and I think that's another good place, another place I could look at instead of me going there. If I could have my kids brought here.
Did you register your kids with the embassy?
Yeah. They already got their paperwork filed for their passport. But see, they had to. Their mom has to go there with my kids physically and submit the paperwork. So yeah, these are things they already got recognition on papers already.
Kevin, how old are your daughters?
My oldest daughter Star, she's right around. She'll be 11, January 5, and my daughter Pearl just turned 5.
So they've never lived in the States, right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
No,
they were born in the Philippines.
Okay. What? You can hear me okay, or am I breaking up?
I hear you okay.
Okay. Daughter, and she was almost born in another country. I'd looked at, all the options of that. Now, after, I believe it's 11 or maybe 12 years old, it's a lot harder to get them citizenship. If they haven't been here, you're going to have to go through some different hoops. So you might want to look into that.
Yeah, I think it's 16 years old, or 16 or 18. After they hit a certain age, then they're not eligible to come. I'm not. Don't quote me because I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't.
I just lost you.
You know what, Kev? You're still going to have to go through a relative, the I-130 immigration process, I think, yeah. So you're going to have to petition them over. I mean, it's funny that you're talking about this because I'm doing some videos right now, and I just put up the first video on that process, but it's going to cost you somewhere around about, to go through the whole process and to get approved. If you get approved, it's going to be around about $1,500, with all the visa fees and all the fees and everything involved.
Is that for both daughters?
No, for each child you bring, it's going to be about that. Well, you know what? I don't know if you can apply for both of them on one application. You may or may not, but I'm not sure. But when I brought my wife to the States here, or got her visa, the whole process from beginning all the way to the final interview and all that, getting the visa, it was around about $1,000, but they jacked up the fees really high now since Trump got in. About maybe 4 or 5 months ago, they raised all the fees. And I think that's trying to curb a little bit on the immigration.
Your wife has kids, Jerry?
No kids. So it's about $1,500 now, and it takes we got lucky. We did it all in 5.5 months from beginning all the way till she got the visa at the embassy. Generally, the spousal visas take about 8 months to about 1.5 years. We got really lucky. I think everything went really smooth for us, but again, the paperwork was in order. We double checked everything, and if you qualify financially, it goes through fairly quickly. So yeah, but what's nice, Kev, you'll be able to do it through the Manila embassy, because I mean, even though you're here in the States, you can do it from here. But if you were in the Philippines, actually the Manila embassy has a USCIS international office there at the embassy. You could actually do it from the Philippines as well if you were in the Philippines. Do the paperwork as well through there.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a little process though, but they're going to look at your financials, so that's where you got to kind of qualify there. You
got to so much in the bank.
Well, it's not about so much in the bank. You got to show an income. I had to show an income of the minimum income you got to show is $22,000. It's like it's 125% of the the poverty level. I think the poverty level is 18,000. So you got to show about minimum $22,000 a year just to qualify.
Okay.
You gotta at least show that, and obviously, the more you're above that point, the easier it is to get them in the country. Yeah. So.
And if you don't make that much, you have to have a sponsor.
A sponsor, right? Yeah. Sponsor, like an aunt or an uncle or whatever. And I don't really know much about what the sponsor's paperwork is, but I'm sure it's probably financial stuff, that they'll look at and all that, So.
Yeah, I already looked into that part because I talked to my aunt about her being a sponsor for my kids. So went that going down that route also.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, if you got the sponsors, I think it makes it easy for them. Hopefully, So,
but see, people ask me how come I don't hit my aunt up for money, and she collects. She helped me already. Leaving the Philippines to Guam, but I don't want to keep hitting her up for money because if I ask her does she want to help me be a sponsor, then I don't want to go. Hey, can I also have $10,000? Because
you just basically you get the money together yourself, and all she's got to do is, if she's going to help you, just help you in the sense of being there in case, as a sponsor, just sign paperwork and all that. But one of the things, she may have a financial responsibility. Again, I don't know how it works with kids, but for my situation, like if you were married less than 2 years and you petition your wife to come to the States, your wife's only going to come in on a conditional visa, and you have to fill out some paperwork that says I'm responsible for her for the next 10 years. Even if I get divorced or whatever, I still could be on the hook to pay, her bills and all that. Now, a lot of times, generally, they don't go after you. But what people do is when your wife comes, there's that first 2 years, and then she'll take the condition off her visa. Then she gets a 10-year green card.
Is he married?
Pardon me?
Is he married?
Who?
Kevin.
No.
I was just talking about my situation, conditions. There may be conditions on his kids. There may be certain conditions because think about it. If he's going to bring his kids over to the U.S., the government's going to ask you, well, how are you going to support these kids? And that's where the sponsor comes in. Because if he's not able to support them financially, if he doesn't have the right means,
are they
like
twins? Are they twins? The girls?
No, they're not twins. They're not twins, are they, Kev?
No.
All right.
No.
Well, they look like me, but no, they're not twins.
Yeah. Again, there's going to be conditions that the government's going to ask you to fill out, whether it's you or your sponsor. I know there's going to be conditions, financial conditions that your sponsor is going to have to sign on to.
So yeah, that part I'm already going on the roll about doing that. So yeah, thank you for asking. Again, some of this stuff is going to take some time. I want Josie take my kids because she's back from Singapore, and I want her to bring my kids to Manila and go to the embassy. And she has those papers already, so she has to hand carry them. She just can't submit them over on mail. She has to physically bring them, and she has to get an appointment to bring my kids there and her go there. But yeah, I would love for that part to happen. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how much it will cost. She has an uncle that's in Manila, but he's on the other end going south, right before you leave the Manila on the highway. She next to Socat Highway in Manila. It's almost the end of Manila before you go going on towards Tagaytay. But she got a place, but I like to get her over to Manila and bring my kids there. So I think that would be a plus, just to get them moving. Yeah, Will. There's some money it would take to bring them from point A to point B, but also takes quite a bit of time just to get things moving. All right, you guys. This part. I already going towards 2 hours. I really just came on to find out and tell you guys what I did when I was younger, and you got to be careful about married women, having a relationship with them. Are you willing to pay their marriage if they can? It will cost quite a bit of money. Don't, just like John Doe said, try to stay away from. There's so many people out there wasn't married and or boyfriend. You want to try to seek them out and to find
right. But that takes time. That takes time and effort. And most of the guys that go to the Philippines do not want to invest any time or any effort. They just want to play peso down, panties down. That's it.
I like that. But that's not smart. But I like that thought.
But no one said they're smart.
Well, I know this because I done it already. So, I'm just licking my wounds. Right. But it's just not an easy thing to relate with, because I just want to have, and a lot of people that's following me want to have a good time, and you don't want to find out unhappy news because you're in the heat of the moment. So just be careful when you want to meet somebody. Do a little bit of homework. Just look at their ID when you first meet them. Don't go there blind.
No, they don't want to learn. They don't want to learn the culture. They don't want to learn anything. They want to get off the plane and get their wick wet.
Yeah,
immediately.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, cause that's me. That's how I was.
If some people can fly over the Philippines and parachute right into a bar, they would do that.
You can do that?
Well, if they could, they would.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I need a C-47. Jesus Christ, man, I'm ready.
Well, I guess if you could be airborne and you can, fly in, and just maybe if you hit it just right, you could get close to a bar.
Hey, John, what do you do when you go to the Philippines? I'm just curious.
Well, usually it's 2 phases. I go with my girlfriend, spend time with her family. She goes home, and then I spend time with my other girlfriend.
I mean, do you like, so you don't ever go to like bars, or you go sightseeing? I'm just kind of curious.
Of course I go sightseeing, and I've been to bars, but that's not really my thing.
Okay. Well, what kind of bars you talking about? You're talking about like nightclub, or are you talking about a booby bar?
I'm referring just to regular bars. I mean, just, you go have a drink and BS with the locals or whatever.
Yeah, I like that. That's like at a hotel. Those are pretty fun.
Well, usually when I'm there with my girlfriend, her brother-in-law from Australia is there. So, I mean, we're always together and we go out drinking.
Oh, man, I like messing with the bar girls, man. They're fun.
What the hell?
Just sitting there, just talking crap to them, man. It's hella funny.
Oh, man. Well, you got to be careful. Wear a life jacket when you go there. And
well, what do you mean by bar girls? You mean hookers?
Yeah, the hooker band. They come at you like piranhas, man. The minute you walk in, it's like you come down, you buy a beer. You already know how it goes. You sit down,
Because they want you to buy them drinks, because they get
they want the lady drinks.
Yeah, they
get a
and all of a sudden they come right away. They're like, "Whoa, where you from?" And they start talking. Bullshit. I'm like, "Okay, whatever. Okay, I'll buy you."
I can go to a mall and talk to a girl for free. I don't have to buy her a drink.
Yeah, so I just buy her a drink anyway. But then I just listen to them. We got a back room. So what? That's nice.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they're all about making money.
Yeah.
Tell him to stay out of your pants pockets. That's what Trixie.
That's what I say. That's what I do.
Trixie.
And Jixie's normally there around. She sit there, she watches it, and she laughs. She wants to do a video about it, about how aggressive they are. To try to get into your pant pockets. They don't care what it takes.
Last night I had a show, and I was talking about 70-30% rock star. Meaning, when you go there, do people treat you like a rock star? Because see, I'm following what Steve Montelli said, and I had to disagree with him.
What did he say? What did he say?
Well, he said Westerners think when they go to the Philippines, they're gonna get rock star treatment.
Well, that's true to a certain degree.
He said 70-30, 70% yes, maybe 30% no. But when I was there, I got rock star treatment from when I got off the plane to I boarded the plane back. So I on all my trips, even when I was in Hong Kong, even when I went to Taipei, maybe they thought I was Butterbean or somebody, but I got treated like I was somebody. And but like I said, Steve said no, people shouldn't think that way. But no, I got there, but when the money started slowing down, so didn't the treatment also.
Well, generally, as a foreigner, certain doors open for you. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but if you walk around and you don't have nice clothes on, maybe if you're
look like Fazio.
Well, I look like Fazio. I just wear my wife beater and whatnot. I wear old shirts and whatnot. I don't get the rock star.
Do they have holes in them?
No, they don't have holes in them. No, they don't have stains on them.
And you look better than Fazio then.
Anyways, I never got the rock star. I mean, her family and whatnot, look at me that way. Her friends, of course, because Trixie, purveys it that way. But it's not. It's hey, we're good. We're very good, in our finances and whatnot. But as far as the rock star treatment, I mean, you walk through any store and whatnot. I mean, it's not like people stopping and gawk at you and nah, man, you're just any foreigner just walking through. That's what you are.
Depends on where you are in the Philippines too, because I went from top to bottom, and Manila I didn't get to look so often. When I was down in Davao, man, I almost felt uncomfortable at times. I was getting so many stares.
I would have to agree with you, because even in province, when I go to the province, it's like all of a sudden it's like you're a foreigner, and they offer you all kinds of stuff. Come in here, sit down, have a drink. They give you shots on the street when you're walking by. It's like, here, you want some Tanqueray? It's like, it's different where you're at. So I have to agree with you on that one. Yeah.
I get the shots on the streets. I get the hey Joe, hey Joe, hey Joe, the hey Joe treatment.
Exactly, Jay. Yeah, it's the truth. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's different in different area. Yeah, it's true. Here in IT Park in Cebu and whatnot, there's so many foreigners there. I mean, it's like it's a regular thing, man. You're an everyday Joe. But when you're in province and whatnot, you're in isolated areas, and all of a sudden there's a foreigner there. It's like you get a different treatment. What about you, Kev? Is that what you're talking about? In certain areas, or because I know you're in Iloilo. I've never been there. I don't know how small that place is. Is it a province or is it what is it? A city?
Big Kel left.
Oh God! I think we got the show again. Here we go. This is what happens to him. All right, Jay. You got control, man.
This is the Sit 7 show.
Damn, man.
Yeah, but
No,
my example of being treated a little bit different, like
uh,
let's say when I'm in Manila, like I was in Manila the other, couple of months ago, and they open up a new hotel, a new nice hotel, the Holiday Inn. Well, and I wanted to check out the hotel, and I just walked in the door, and I told the guy, I want to check out your hotel. And I said, yeah, go ahead. And nobody bothered me. And my girlfriend said, if you were a local guy, they wouldn't even let you in the door.
and it's the truth. Even when you go buy a motorbike and whatnot, and I noticed that when I went to go buy my motorbike, it's the same thing. They didn't check my credit. They didn't check, my line of credit or how, nothing. They didn't even check my driver's license. It was just easy. And she even told me, Trixie told me flat out, she goes, you know what? If you were a Filipino, they would have went through your bank account. They want to see your credit. They want to see, how much money you have in your account. They want to know you're going to pay for it. But because you're a foreigner, they don't even question you.
It's like Angeles City. If sometimes, well, a lot of those bars, they wouldn't even let a Filipino in the bar. You got to be a foreigner to come in the bar.
And I think that's what, he was trying to say about, star treatment. I mean, we do have our advantages, but we got more disadvantages, being out there because of we're a foreigner, prices get jacked up. All of a sudden you go to buy some furniture or whatnot. That's a perfect example. Just going in and buying some furniture. There's a price of, let's say, 4,000 pesos, for this couch. Okay, 4,000 pesos. All right. And all of a sudden they go up to this, always upstairs. They go upstairs. They come back and go, oh, sorry, we misquoted. This is the wrong sign. It's actually 6,000 pesos.
Well, that's why you always let the local do your negotiating for you. You stay out of sight.
Yeah, and that's something that here in the panel you got to, or not the panel, but the commenters. That's something that if you've never been to the Philippines, man, let me tell you what, man, there's no real price. When they see you, guess what? It goes up.
But I mean, you can mitigate that to a certain degree if you keep yourself updated on what things cost. Then you can prevent that to a certain degree.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. I try to keep up with how much things cost. And there've been times where they try to overcharge me, and I just walk away. Then they'll come following me and lower the price.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You just got to be firm with it. You just got to be able to say no.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's hard to say no sometimes because they're so persistent. And if you don't have a spine, then you just kind of like fall into it and go, oh, fuck it, because I could pay for it. You know what I mean? It's like I got the money for it. And then they were doing that because I just bought a 55-inch flat screen TV, for my house. And all of a sudden, the price went up again. Oh no, it's not this price now. It's this. It went from 46,000 pesos to all of a sudden 50,000 pesos, and I was like, no, that's not what it says here. Well, no, because it's an LG and it's a smart, TV that has Wi-Fi. We don't know why the price is on here, and I said, well, then I'm not taking it, and I walked away. They chased me out the door and they said, all right, we'll give it to you for that price.
Well, you have to be